and proud of you that such a multinational dignitaries on a platform to speak and discuss about the burning issue of climate change. Climate change is here, as we have been listening. As the former Prime Minister of Pakistan and from Ecuador, the president, she said, its impact intensifies over time. It is the children and the young people of today who will face the worst effects. But far from being passive victims, young people all over the world have begun to fight back on a scale never seen before. We can take the example of the participants today. Take the example of my country, young Greta Thunberg. In 2018, the 15-year-old girl, Greta Thunberg, sparked a global movement of school-age students demanding greater action from governments to fight climate change. Now millions are marching to demonstrate their support, whether through education, technology, science, or law. Young people far and wide are tapping in their skills to speak up for climate action. The political backdrop contains challenges as well. We have listened from many of the dignitaries today. With climate change denial from some governments, and we know very well what happened in France, what happened in Brussels. When one of the powerful leaders said no to sign under the climate change documents. But I am proud of the European Union, a new intention to become climate neutral, and the implementing cost of renewable energy have been positives. We are clearly, and this, Ambassador, you have said also, and some of the delegates said, we are clearly last generation that can change the course of climate change. But we are also the first generation with its consequences. The World Bank announced that its record 100 billion pounds of climate funding from 2021 to 2025 would be, for the first time, be split equally between projects to cut emissions and those protecting people from the floods, storms, and droughts that global warming is making. But I can quote here one example, that what has been said in Holland, that the climate debate can no longer only be about the causes. It also needs to focus on how billions of people are at risk and rapidly adopt. Many nations remain firmly committed, we have listened today, to climate action, particularly France and China. But the UN Secretary General, what he said recently, Antonio Guterres, warned that the rise of populism as undermining the political will of some countries to work with others. We have more and more nationalist approaches being popular and winning elections. He said this has led, in many opinions, to a lack of political will. Every day we witness the effects of the changing climate on poor and vulnerable people around the world. Transformation is possible, but politically will is needed to make it happen. Extreme weather events are not something of the future. They are very noticeable in here and now. We have seen the floods, we have seen the droughts, so that is there. But dear participants, I have very short time. Advocacy is instrumental to build a better, stronger future for children and young people. Here is especially, I'm just saying to the young people, please, UNICEF supports youth to advocate with their governments in their national context. In Mongolia, for example, air pollution is a source of health problems of many. Here, young people have been trained to monitor air quality and use the data they collect to call on their governments to take action. Empowering youth to monitor air quality is a first and often powerful step in the providing them with the information that they need to advocate for their rights. Now I will speak little about my own country. Sweden is known for its underdeveloped wilderness and ecology stretching from European mainland to the Arctic. Meeting the environmental challenges of the future is not just about protecting landscape, though, and Sweden is making big strides towards safeguarding the future as well as the conserving the past. The first country, Sweden is the first country in the world to pass an Environmental Protection Act in 1967. Sweden also hosted the first United Nations Conference on Global Environment in 1972. Since then, Sweden has not looked back, managing to grow its economy, sustainability, while reducing carbon emissions and limiting, as the former Prime Minister of Pakistan has mentioned, not limiting pollution. More than half of the Sweden national energy supplies come from renewable, and thorough legislation aims to further reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Let's save the climate. Climate change caused by the emissions of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases is one of the foremost global environment problems today. The Swedish government has set ambitious goals for sustainability, including going fossil-free by 2045. This is the goal we have in Sweden, that 100% renewable energy will be used. Emissions need to be reduced at a speed to ensure sustainable global growth. Transition needs to be effective and establish long-term rules. Swedish Prime Minister Stefan Löfven has said about the challenges ahead. Statistics, Sweden offers a breakdown of emissions, air pollution. Now I have sent what we are working in our county, especially I have shown what the Kalmar, what we have focused, I have sent the presentation. If you can open it, please, on the chat, you can see, if you please. The last few decades have seen Sweden become a focus for leading environmental research. Stockholm now boosts the Stockholm Environment Institute to Stockholm Reliance Center and the groundbreaking Environmental Humanities Laboratory at the KTH Royal Institute of Technology. And we need the help for these defenders also. They are going all over the world to defend the climate change and the activists, as very rightly our former parliament member from the European Union, she has mentioned, so we need to help the human rights defenders also for their human rights also. So here, if you have opened the Kalmar, page, you can see the good status in all water, action plan for a healthy coastal environment, with coast, stop nutrients discharge from land by wetlands, slow runoff, focus on pike and new spawning areas, recirculate nutrition from the sea to land by mussel farm, and then innovation, it's our young leaders here said about the innovation, so here we are working on that, and then if we change the next picture, if you see that on the action plan for a healthy coastal environment, you have seen that, if you see the third one, high focus strategy for high biodiversity, save old oak trees, restore beach midways and sand areas, more midways, more and more. And then if you see the second last, no plastic products, so it is now we are trying with legislation, no plastic products, bank for borrowing layer products, there are banks, that we can borrow them to the children, we are not just destroying them, the old one, you are making use of that so everybody can use it, a firm demand in the procurement, and then the last one is the carpool, so we are working in the carpool that collectively we can drive together and have this opportunity that not to use more cars, Dear friends, all the participants, this is what is a big challenge for the world. We have seen what has happened in Australia with recently in California with the fires, So we need to stand up. Not only that we have to discuss, we have to work on it, we have to work together. International Human Rights Commission is there. We have the sources, to work and to help the youth, upcoming youth. Thank you very much, ambassadors and all the friends, So if anybody need any help or I will send my email address to everyone from our county. We are ready to help from our country. We are help the youth, for the COTH and the university. Also, they are offering scholarships also. Thank you very much, Ambassador. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
But here, Ambassador, what they